Hey guys, so now I want to take a look at Quant. So that's QNT token. QNT is on the ticker. So as usual, I'm going to start on a high time frame and just get a broad look at what's going on. So this is the weekly chart, and as you can see, it's pretty sporadic price action here. So we had this huge run up, then we had a pullback. If I run a fib on that, I'm assuming we bounced off a key level. Okay, we came down, we bounced right off the 786, and then we went up for another leg. Now this one's kind of just forming a triangle. So you have this downtrending resistance line and this uptrending support line, and they're due to converge uh, late August or early September. That's when these lines are going to converge, and then it'll choose the direction, which way it's going to go. Let's see here. Another thing, actually, this I can probably extend this right from the top here. Let's see here. Yeah, that comes all the way down right from the top. So that's a long trending, long downtrend resistance level. So, I mean, whenever you see these type of patterns forming, they become pretty easy to trade. So, first of all, go on the higher time frame. Oops. And if you're gonna draw it for trading purposes, I'll tend to try to get as many wicks in it as possible because you don't want to enter a position and then get stopped out by one of the wicks, right? So yeah, you can just basically, so to trade this, very easy. When you see the price come down to this lower support line, just enter. You can look to enter a long and place a support a stop loss just below. And then when it comes up here, you can just look for shorts. So when you're down here, look for longs. When you're up here, look for shorts. And now that it's getting more narrow, you're not going to get the same kind of risk to reward because the moves are going to be tighter. But even so, even if you get one up here at 112, you can short down to 97. So that's a good move, especially if you use a little bit of leverage. Not that I'm telling you to use leverage. It's none of this is financial advice, of course. So yeah, I mean, guys, it's just in a very predictable pattern right now. Let me see also where we are. If I want to run a fib from here to here and see if we're on a level here. Yeah, okay, so we're on the 50. We're just being supported by the 50% retracement here. So, I mean, that gives you even more confluence and more confidence to enter along around this region because not only are you supported by this lower support trend line, but it also aligns with the 50% retracement that has served as support multiple times already. So if I was to enter along down here, if the price does come back, then here I'll give you an example of a trade that I would personally look to enter. So long, if the price comes back to this trend line, let's say I enter here, I would target the top of I would target right here, top of the downtrending resistance line, and I would place my stop just below both the trend line and the Fibonacci retracement. So this setup would get me 6 to 1 or 1 to 6 to 1, sorry, risk reward ratio. So I would risk 3.79% to earn 14.67%. So I mean, guys, trading, if you can draw lines and if you can take calculated entries where you have a good risk to reward ratio and you have tight stop losses to protect your capital, trading's really not that hard, guys. So yeah, I'll probably set an alert down here for a long, and yeah, I'm gonna do that as soon as I stop this video. I'm gonna look to enter this trade if we come back down. Okay, so let's look at this chart using some different indicators and see what's going on. So I mean, if you're new here, pretty much every video I mentioned that I like to plot out the previous day high and the previous day low on the charts, and these work very well for support and resistance levels. And I guess a lot of people don't know the significance of this. So right now, as you can see, we're near the previous day low. So the example I just gave you on the weekly chart, that's more for like a long-term swing trade if the opportunity presents itself. But if I'm sitting here bored and I just want like a shorter term trade, this is something I can look at. I can go down to the shorter time frame. So right now I'm on a 4 hour. Of course, I can do this on a 1 hour, even a 15-minute, any time frame, whatever. But right now, let's see if this is a decent trade setup. It probably isn't because we're a little bit extended from the previous day low. But let's just see. If I was to enter right now and move my stop below this last swing and below the previous day low and target this upper, the previous day high, what does that get me? Oh, that's 1 to 1.1.23 risk reward ratio. So I would have to risk 2.47% to gain 3%. It's not ideal, but what gives me more confidence in this trade playing out is this particular indicator here, the stochastic. You see, we've reached the oversold region and we're just starting to turn up. So yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad trade. I think more than likely in this situation, more than half the time we're going to come up, and I do have somewhat of a favorable risk to reward ratio. I mean, it's not a bad play. Whether I'm going to take it or not, I'm not sure. Probably, I don't know, I might. Whatever, we'll see. Anyway, so if I extend this out, and let's look at the daily and get rid of this. Don't need that anymore. Let's see where we're at. Okay. So yeah, we're bouncing off the previous day low. Basically, what this indicator is, this is called price action concepts, where it shows me these order blocks, and all that does is mark out significant regions on the chart that have a lot of transaction history. So typically when the price will come to it from below, it'll act as support, and if you come up to it here, it'll be resistance. So price typically will respond to these levels. So as you see here, came up twice, shot down. If we come up to here again, this area is going to be a resistance level. So I'm not seeing anything interesting here. Hold on. Okay. So guys, for Quant, it's pretty easy. If you want a shorter term trade within the previous day low and a previous day high. On that 4 hour, I like this opportunity, this setup here, especially because we have this about to turn up. On a longer term, going back to this other chart, then just trade within these lines. It's not that hard. Draw them on your chart and just look for entries. Like I said, I'm going to look for an entry. If we get back down here, then I'm going to look to enter here for a long, and I'm going to ride it right up to the top of this downtrending resistance level. So yeah, guys, that's Quant. And I think long term, I researched this coin, the fundamentals of it, and they seem to be they have a lot of partnerships with some big banks and payment networks and whatnot. So I'll link to the fundamental analysis of this particular project in the pinned comment below. And of course, I'll also link to the indicators that I'm using, the exchange that I'm currently trading on. And I'll also link to, if you just want like a very basic strategy that you can use that has a high win rate, I'll link to a video I made that outlines that as well. Just to give you a quick look at that particular strategy. The video will explain it more in depth, but essentially for that I use these indicators here, okay, and we have an example. Perfect. So what these are, this red overhead resistance level and this blue here, this is it's a dynamic support and resistance, and it also just gives me a quick visual indication of whether we're in an uptrend or a downtrend. So when you're below this red line, you're in a downtrend, and typically when the price will come up to it, it'll serve as a resistance. So you see what happened here. We came up and we just got smashed down by this resistance level, and it works the other way around. If you're above the blue, it'll oftentimes act as a support level. So essentially what the trading system is, I look to this approaches to the red line or retracements to the blue line, and I look to enter with a tight stop loss. So I place my stop loss just above it. In this case, we got wicked, but I would wait for the candle to close to enter. So I place my stop loss above, and then I would just short it look for a short opportunity on the way down. And what will give me confidence whether this is going to work out or not, or give me a higher probability, would be if this stochastic shows that we're in an overbought range and we're starting to turn down. So this would have been a trade I would have taken, and actually it would have worked out. So anyway, guys, I'll put a link to a video I did with more details on this trading strategy below. And if you haven't subscribed, if you want to get notifications when I put out more of these coin analysis videos, then just subscribe now. And thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.